guys, and good morning. I'm going to take you down to the barn and show you what's been happening down there. We've had some people working on it and things are changing and it's looking great so far. And my dog just came to visit. Jax, come here. Sit. Good boy. You want to show him the barn? So just to give you guys kind of an overall plan before I take you around and show you what we've been up to, this middle section is going to be where I keep my animals this winter. So this is the most structurally sound, ready to go place. I have a bunch of goats behind me. So there'll be a whole nother video on them soon, I'll show you, but just in case you hear any weird noises. But this we're going to make into some different pens, and then I want to take my electric netting fence and put it around here out front and maybe some in the back. However it works out, just so they can have some area to get out to if it's a nicer day. So yeah, basically what we have to do is take off any of the rotting wood, add some new beams in certain areas, and supposedly the footers that they found so far have been in good shape, so we can use those same footers and put the new posts right on them. In places like, if you can see on this roof line, where it kind of dips down in the middle, that's where we know we've got some sagging. And a tip for all of you guys out there, my dad always says that's how you can tell if a building is structurally sound, if it has a straight roof or not. And the main barn actually has a pretty straight roof, so we feel pretty good about that one. But other than this dip, this building looks pretty good. The corn crib we do plan on saving. That's just going to be a bigger undertaking, so for now it is going to look like this. So yeah, let's walk around here and I'll show you guys what's going on. So this main alleyway, we are going to close down the back side of it. There was a big barn door on the back of it, and I think this was more of like a cattle chute. Same thing with it going across the back here. So they've already removed all the boards off the back of this barn, and even some of the roof. I'll try to find clips from my old barn video, but when you look down here, this used to be like cattle chutes and different gates and things all the way to the end. That is this back wing, and at the end of this, where you see that piece of plywood, that had a couple gates right there which we took down, but it was like a cattle chute that the last person farming it had put up just recently, like literally a year ago, and we wanted to open this back up. So that is that part. But all the posts, the roof, it was all rotting and it just really wasn't safe. And since this is the main barn structure, it really wasn't worth saving. And also because I'm not going to be running cattle through it. I'm not going to have some huge farm operation here. This is just for like 20 goats eventually, and you know, maybe like a miniature pony, but it's really going to be nothing more than that. So yeah, I'll put in some old clips if I can find those. And coming on to this side, I'll show you guys this beam that's kind of alarming. Which, okay, it works temporarily, but it's really not a permanent fix. And if you look at it from the side, you can see, you know, things shift, things get a little off kilter. So yeah, things like that have to be addressed, and I'll take you guys from this side so you can get a good view of everything. And on the back of this corn crib, there used to be a running... Oh, he's just having a blast around here. There used to be a lean-to on the back of this corn crib, and they had, I think, like a couple cows back here. But this we've just opened up, and I think it's just going to stay open for a while. I did tell my dad it would be nice if on the back section here where there used to be a couple big doors, right in here, if I don't really care if there's big doors or not. I think the more closed off the better if I'm trying to winterize it, but I at least like to have one door back here, just like a regular size little door. So thanks, Jax. So that'll probably go in as well, or maybe they'll put one on this side, whichever. I mean, I just think back access is going to be important. Up here it was used as hay storage, and that's what I'm going to use it for too. Obviously not in the scale that it's made for. And yeah, so that's where that main beam was rotted out. So they're going to replace that one. And I think my dad is going to order like 4, I'm trying to remember how long they are. It might be 26 feet to the top. 4 humongous posts, and just do all 4 main beams throughout the barn. Just do them while you have the building kind of gutted and ready to be worked on. So if we go on this side, then where the wing used to be coming off, yesterday they cut the roof and everything off. So they cut the trusses, or I guess the rafters. My dad said those ends, because the water had been running to them in some spots where the roof was leaking on them and falling apart. When those things dropped to the ground, they just like shattered because they were so rotted. So I'm sure some of those rafters are going to have to be replaced, or you know, have a band-aid slapped to them. But they've already started replacing these boards on the wall. And the cool thing, they understand that we want to save as much of the original stuff as possible for this barn. Obviously, with how much of it has rotted, there's gonna have to be some new stuff put in here. But we are gonna go to a sawmill and just get like rough cut lumber, so that at least once it ages a little bit, it should match a little better. But out here, it's kind of cool. We have like a little lumber yard going on. And this is all the metal that they took off the roof. But we've got they're all organized by like size and shape and stuff. And like you can see here, these are some of the boards that they're working on putting back up somewhere, or maybe they're just taking the nails out of them, I'm not sure. Boards like this, I told my dad if we have any extra that we can't necessarily use, I would love to make a kitchen table out of a couple of these boards. I can't even imagine like how beautiful that would be. So yeah, they've got all these boards here and another pile down there at the end. But I was just really happy to see all this and see that it's organized. And my dad even said, you know, for boards that maybe the last 2 feet is kind of rotted, like let's just cut that off, and that board otherwise is still good in most cases. Some of them are just completely rotten and those just have to go. But yeah, so I'm just happy that they're using everything we can. So they're probably going to show up today to continue working on this stuff, and I would assume that by the end of today that this wall would be close to or even just completed. So yeah, we'll walk around to this other side and I'll show you guys what it looks like from over there. And this is, I don't know if you remember from my barn video, I said this is the door that I like absolutely love. If I was going to make a piece of furniture out of a barn door, it would be this one. So this door is still here, and this area is going to need some work just to kind of close it off because we don't want more critters getting up under there. But as you can see, the pillars that were poured are still standing just fine. But we're gonna, once that's fixed, probably fill in some dirt here and then get some steps going down from this door. So if we go around the side, Jax just has a blast out here. Alright, so this side there used to be a lean-to, and then you had the back side coming off of it. So all that's gone. Unfortunately, a lot of the boards are pretty damaged, but there are still a lot worth saving here. So yeah, this will all just get made pretty again, and there's a couple pieces of metal hanging on from the roof, but that's not a big deal. And you can see this whole roof line looks pretty darn good now that that side's been cut off, because that was really the only area that was like the eyesore. But everything's nice and straight and good. And that's the cool thing about like old buildings and barns. That's the cool thing about old buildings and barns and things. They were just made to last a long time. Like, they were constructed really well in most cases, and this one I'm guessing is from like the 1920s, just based off of their family timeline. And if you just imagine, like, since her dad passed away in like the 60s, this barn has really just been left alone, other than the middle section, because the neighbor and her son had cows over here, so they did use that section, but the main barn hasn't really been touched. So what's that, 60 years and it's still standing? That's pretty amazing. So I'll show you guys these two front stalls, and I think that's gonna wrap things up. We have some ladders being stored in this first little pen here, but there is an old head gate in here, which is pretty cool. And then there's this other pen. So somehow we're gonna kind of close these down, and these will also be pens. I still haven't figured out that whole layout and how this will all work. But yeah, I'm really excited to share this all with you guys. So look forward to more videos. I'm sure it's going to be random updates, and each time there's going to be a lot of work done because the guys that are working on this are really working hard. I mean, in one day they had all the wood off the back. The second day they cut that whole roof off, and they've been clean and organized that whole time. So you really can't ask for more. And they understand like our vision for all of it, so that's really cool. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're wondering about my shirt, it says "Salvaged, Save the Trees." This is my friend Lucas's merch shirt for his YouTube channel, 1806 Stonehouse. So they're really affordable. He's not trying to make a ton of money off of it, which I think everyone can appreciate, so we can all still enjoy the shirts and not spend $30 on a merch shirt. So if you like these, you can go pretty much to any of his videos or social media accounts and you'll find the link somewhere on there, but they're all on Teespring. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.